Hello, welcome to day 3. So last class we discussed about data types, the introduction to data types, numbers and typecasting, and we talked a bit about typecasting to string also. So this class or this video we will explicitly and in very detailed way we are going to discuss about Python strings. Okay. So in Python, strings are surrounded by either single quotation marks or double quotation marks. Okay. So hello in single quotes is same as hello in double quotes, and we can directly display the literal string literal with the print function. So if I just print this, I'll see both of them, both the double quotes and the single quotes, both of them coming as hello. Okay. So unlike numbers, where you do not need any any quotes to define it, in string you need a single quote or a double quote for assigning to a string. Okay. Now quotes inside of quotes. So what will happen if we use quote inside a quote? So inside a string, as long as they don't match the quote surrounding the string, we can use quotes. So what I mean to say basically is, for example, you see the surrounding quotes over here is a double quote and this is a single quote. But if I place this as a double quote, this is going to give me an error. This is not correct. So it shouldn't match the surrounding, like the enclosing quotes. For example, in the second one, we have a double quote over here. So inside it, we are using single quotes. So if I do a double quote over here, like in the inside string, this is going to give me an error. Okay, I'll show you what error it will give. Invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. So it's not considering it as a string only, like a string inside a string. Okay, so if I just do this a single quote over here, which doesn't match with the enclosing quotes, it's going to print it. Similarly, in the third example, the enclosing quotes are single ones. So the one in the middle, the string in the middle should have double quotes enclosing it. Clear? Now, how do we assign a string to a variable? So as I said earlier, that unlike numbers, in numbers you do not need to assign any quotes to say that this is a number or something like that. You directly assign it, right? Like x equal to 1 or y equal to 2.0, something like that. But in string, when we need to assign a string to a variable, it's done with an equal sign and the string. So over here, we have to give the double quotes or a single quote to specifically say, okay, this is a string. Now if I print this, it's going to give me hello. Now if I print the type of this, as we know with the help of type, we can see that what kind of a data type it is. It's going to give me str. Okay. Now multi-line strings. So there can be instances where you want to have multiple lines inside the string, right? So if I just do thank you watching my video. Okay, so this is how. So you need to enclose your entire string, the textual values that you have given inside the quotes. So in this case, if you see, only one line string would have one single, like one double quote, like one quote only. It's a single or a double, one quote only. But over here, if we have to do multiple lines, 3 consecutive quotes, whether it's a single or a double. Okay, so the enclosing the enclosing quotes are going to be 3 consecutive quotes, whether single or double. Similarly, if I see this one, I have used a single quote over here. So single quotes as enclosure, single quotes as enclosure, 3 continuous single quotes as enclosure, and it prints it. Okay. So the key over here is that write 100 lines, doesn't matter, but the starting and the ending should have 3 consecutive quotes, whether it's a double quote, whether it's a single quote. Okay. Now, one popular thing about strings is that strings in Python are arrays of Unicode characters. Okay, but Python does not have a character data type. A single character is simply a string of length 1. Okay, for example, I think in other programming languages like C, C++, we have character, char, which says that okay, this is a character. But in Python it's a string, but strings basically are the arrays containing multiple characters. So if I am saying that a single character is there, that means only one string but with a length of 1. Okay, so how do we access elements of the string? So square brackets can be used to access elements of the string. And just like array, the first character has the position of 0. Okay, so okay, for example, over here, this is a string, hello, comma, space, world, exclamation. Okay, so how many characters are there? Let's see. H is one character, E is one character, L is one character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so if I do A of 1, that means E, it should print E. Now if I print A of 13, okay, A of 13 doesn't exist. Let me see A of 10. So it's L, okay? And then if I do 12, it gives me the exclamation. So I was wrong. It's actually 12 characters. Counted it wrong. So this is how. So 1, 2, 3. And every character in the entire string is basically the element of the entire array. Okay, so this is how we can fetch the particular. So for example, there's a question, where you want to fetch only W. Okay, let's say you have an entire paragraph and you want to count that how many number of W's are there in that paragraph. So you will have to fetch that in each element, okay, where it is W, that will be considered, and you can count like that. So this is how it can be used as a use case. Now, how do we loop through a string? So since strings are arrays, right? So we can loop through the characters with a for loop. So looping will cover in the next chapter after data types, but just to give an introduction. So since string are arrays, we can loop through the characters in a string, okay, with a for loop. So like normally we use a for loop to traverse through an array or a list, right? So similarly, since strings are just arrays of separate elements which comprises as characters, so we can use a for loop to to retrieve each element of that string as well. So we'll talk about for loops in details in the looping chapter, but if we run this, so you will see that X, the element of the for loop, is basically traversing through the entire string one by one, and it's printing them. So first B, A, N, A, N, A, like that. Okay. Now, how do we understand what is the length of the string? So there's a len function, which is a Python inbuilt function, and this will give you that what is the length of the entire string. So this is a 13 length string, including the space, and this will just give you. Okay. Now, how to check if a certain phrase or a character is present in a string or not? So we can use the keyword as in. Okay. So the best things in life are free. This is the string, and I have to check that if free is in this text or not. Very simple. It gives true. So like a very simple example. Okay. Now, how to use this as an if statement? So I'll just pass the string as a variable text, and if free, the word free is in text, then print yes, it is free. And if it is not there, in the next example, so for example, expensive is not in text, it will directly print it. But if I again wanted to go to an if statement to print it, so I will say that if expensive not in text, so it will print that okay, it is not present. So again, strings traversal can be used in both for loop or the if else statement, while loops, everything. Okay. Now coming to a very important topic, that is slicing of the strings. So you can return a range of characters by use the slice syntax. Specify the start index and the end index separated by a colon to return a part of the string. Okay, for example, in this one we have hello world, and I want to slice my string from 2 to 5, and 5 is not included. Remember, last element is not included, so it will basically give me 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's see 0, 1, 2. So LLO, it's going to give me LLO. Yeah. Now similarly, if I want to slice from the start, okay, I don't want to give any starting index. I just want to say that starting index is blank and I want to traverse till 5. 5 will not be included. So over here it will be then starting is 0. So HELLO. Okay. And then similarly slice to the end. So I will leave the end index as blank and I will start from 2. That means from L over here, because 0, 1, 2. And then everything from L till the end, it will come up. Okay, so this is how we can do it. Now negative index. Okay, so negative index is to start the slice from the end of the string. So if I do this, -5 and to -2. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me run this and see. Okay, so let's say I want to find -5 till -2. So of course -5 will not be included like that. So which is -1 over here, starting from the end, because this is a 0, right? So if I get H is a 0. So if I get from reverse it, so this is -1, explanation is -1, D is 2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so -5 over here is O, then -4 R, and -3 is L. So the end index is not going to be included, right? So D is not going to be included. If I run this, I'll see ORL. Okay, so this is how we can use negative indexes also if we want to reverse a string basically. So let's say I want to reverse this string, I can use a negative indexing to read it from the end. So in this case it will be -1 till whatever this value is coming up. Okay, now how do we modify strings? So there are certain methods of modifying strings. We'll go through them one by one. So uppercase is one of them. It returns the string in uppercase. Okay, so if I do a dot upper, it's going to return me everything in upper letters, like caps. Then lowercase is also there. It returns the string in the lowercase. So it's going to return everything in lower. So H and W turned into lowercase. Now, how do we remove white spaces? So what is white space? White space is the space before and after the actual text. It can be after the entire string or before the entire string. So over here both are there. If I want to remove them, so I will just say a.strip. This is the function and it's going to remove my white spaces. Okay. This is very effective in data engineering where we want to remove any junk data which has white spaces, like while doing the data entry. So this is a very useful function. Now how do we replace a string? So over here we are replacing H with the J. Okay, so it's very simple. It just says the a dot replace, and the one which you want to replace, the second comes is with the one you want to replace. So Jello world. Okay. Now comes the split method. So what split does is, so over here if we see in this string we have hello comma world. So I want to split this entire string based on comma. So if I run this, it's split. Hello is one string, world is one string with the space. So everything after the comma came into one string. Okay. So this kind of use cases come up when let's say we want to find, maybe in address, right? In address we have multiple commas, so maybe we want to find the separate parts of the entire address which is split by a comma or by a delimiter, to be specific. So we give that, okay, split the entire string based on the delimiter and give me the exact values that we have. This can be a use case in the real world. Now comes string concatenation. Very simple. We have string A, we have string B, and we just add, like we are adding numbers. This is equal to A plus B, which gives me hello world. Okay, with no space. If you want to add a space, you have to specifically mention like something which we are doing over here. So A plus a blank string plus B. So if I print this, hello space world. Okay, so very simple things, but it's used very much in the real world scenarios as well. Okay, now coming to Python format strings. So we cannot combine strings and numbers like this. This is going to give me an error. Okay, can only concatenate string, not integer to string. So it needs to be of the same data type. Now, how to solve this? We can use f strings or the format method. Okay, so for example, I want to print this name, right? My name is John, I am this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a variable as age with 36, which is an integer, and then I'm going to put it in a f string. So it starts with f of double quotes, the string which you have, and then in curly braces the integer you need to pass. This can be concatenation method. So if I print this, it will say my name is John, I'm 36. Okay, so very simple. Just put a f in front of the string literal, and the variable that you want to pass, put it in curly brackets. That's it. Now what are placeholders and modifiers? A placeholder can contain variables, operations, functions and modifiers to format the value. So this is basically the same thing as we did. So just like this. F string is basically the placeholder where you actually place the variable which you want to pass inside of curly brackets. Now you can use the modifier on the placeholder as well. For example, see this code. So price equal to 59, and then we are using f string, and over here only inside the placeholder we are saying that price is going to be displayed with 2 decimals. So if I run this, it's going to give me $59.00. So we can use modifiers also inside the placeholders. Similarly, we can have arithmetic operations also inside the placeholders if you want to play around with the integer value assigned. Now coming to Python escape characters. So basically the characters that are illegal in a string, we can use the escape character. For example, if we use double quotes inside a string, that with the enclosing strings at double quotes, right? We already discussed this. This is going to give me an error, okay, saying invalid syntax. But maybe the scenario is that we cannot use a single quote. We have to use double quotes inside double quotes. So for that, we need to place the escape character like this inside the string which is in the middle, and if we print this, it will print your output. Okay, so a lot of other escape characters as well. So we have backslash, we have new line, okay, then we have return, tab, backspace. So whatever kind of escape characters we want to give, this is the syntax for it. And this notebook is going to be attached in this video, so you can refer it to the same when you actually learn the Python subject. Now the last part of strings is there are a lot of string methods. As I was saying that we have uppercase, we have lowercase. Similarly, we have like this. So capitalize is one of them, which converts the first character only to an uppercase. Then we have count, where it says that the number of times a specified value occurs in a string. Case fold, it converts string into lowercase, right? So a lot of other things are there. This all you can go through one by one, and this will help, you know, in actual coding. So There's another one was strip, which returns a trimmed version of the string, right? So title, it converts the first character of each word to a uppercase, which actually is the title case. So you can go through each of it, and this will help you in learning your entire strings and solve real life questions as well as interview questions. So this is the entire strings as a whole, Python strings. Next video we are going to talk about booleans, operators, sets, list, tuples, dictionaries, and the other data types that are remaining. So if you like this video, please give a like and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.